Lagos Talks 91.3.
Welcome to the office on Lagos Talks 91.3. 31 minutes now past the hour 4. My name is Michelle Ago, and today on the office, we're going to be discussing with, as usual, highly skilled HR professionals in the field who have, a wealth of experience and will be sharing great insights with us on the show. The office is proudly brought to you by the Chartered Institute of Personnel Management of Nigeria and Lagos Talks 91.3. Yes. All right. Now let's get into our guest. We always have special guests here with us. Now, my guest today has over 29 years working experience. He has deep competence in management consulting, learning and development, hands-on human resource management practice, and supply chain management. His specific experience covers corporate strategy, HR planning, recruitment and selection, learning and development, psychometrics, organizational development, career and performance management, including succession planning and management, coaching and counseling, reward management, HRIS, employee and industrial relations. And not just that, also change management, general HR advisory services, and managing HR projects. He's certified in designing and implementing assessments and development centers, as well as administering and interpreting occupational and personality questionnaires by SHL UK. He's a full member of the Chartered Institute of Personnel Management of Nigeria and a former chairman of the Professional Development and Consultancy Committee of the Institute. He is also a member of various other professional bodies, a Development Dimensions International accredited trainer and success profile analyst, and an accredited management development trainer by the Center for Management Development. He's a graduate of Leading Professional Services Program of the Harvard Business School, as well as a graduate of the Advanced Management Program of the Lagos Business School. He was the Management Personality Leadership Prize Award recipient of Africa Prize for Leadership Excellence Award in 2017. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome Mr. Innocent Oseghe, MCIPM Managing Partner, Human Capital Partners. Welcome to the conversation. Good evening, sir.
Good evening.
It's a pleasure to have you here today.
Thank you very much for having me here.
Yes, you have such a very robust profile filled with different roles on management. Wow. You've literally won so many hearts. How have you managed to manage different things, especially in the HR sector, for over 29 years?
Well, it was a deliberate effort going into HR. When I left school,
okay,
I had deep interest in helping people. So everything I then began to do after my university was to continue to move in that direction. So I picked opportunities up in the consulting industry to start with. And after some time, I then began to go straight into HR. And I then continued to also develop myself around the HR space. Did an MBA to also put a bit of strength around the things I wanted to do.
Right.
And then I also then began to socialize and interact with the HR people. So I had the opportunity of being a consultant and as well as also had hands-on working experience as an HR person.
That's amazing. We're so excited that you could join us here today, especially the fact that you're here in the studio. It's such a pleasure to have you join us. Today on The Office, we'll be talking about activity or results. What should be measured? Some people work hard, but it doesn't yield any results.
That's true.
And we're going to talk about it today because a lot of people would like to bridge that gap between working extra hard and producing result, because at the end of the day, that's what the company is there for, to make profits. They want to improve on the results to help them make profits. Exactly. So today we'll be talking about that. Now, in the performance management context, which you're an expert on, what is activity and what is results? Let's understand the difference.
Okay. In terms of in the context of performance management, activity is the quality or state of being active, doing anything which may or may not relate to work outcomes.
Okay.
While results is normally the final consequence of a sequence of activities, sequence of actions, sequence of events that is normally expressed in both qualitative and in quantitative terms. So that is what that's what result is. Yes. So there is a complete difference between activity and results. Some activities, a lot of activities, usually in the workplace, don't lead to results. But however, you can never achieve results without planned activities, deliberate planned activities. Yeah.
Okay.
So that is the difference between the two.
So what is the correlation or relationship between both? How do they impact on each other?
Okay. Results would always, it's always the outcome of deliberate, well-planned, executed activities. That's the results. So it's a well-executed, coordinated activities. But activity can just be an activity without resulting into results. So the correlation is that results can never happen without coordinated activities. Yeah. But however, there can be activity without results.
Okay.
But in the place of work, we're looking at results. We're looking at activities, and we want to motivate activities that would lead to specific outcomes, which is the results we're talking about. Yes.
All right. Now, bearing in mind that activities may need to be performed to achieve these results, like you've rightly said, should these activities be acknowledged at all during performance evaluation, or should organizations just focus on measuring only results?
Well, now, everyone, you are employed to be able to produce a work result for your organization. Now, everyone's salaries have been planned based on the outcome that the organization is looking at, which therefore means that every activity that an employee must perform must lead to those results, or else the organizations will not be able to support them financially. So, what do you then measure? Do you keep measuring activities, or should you measure results? Should we take into consideration activities when we are evaluating results? Yes, we should take into consideration activities, but we don't reward activities. You reward the results. Activities can be compensated for. For instance, now if I say do something and you were not able to achieve that work product I've given to you for one reason or the other, I can acknowledge the fact that, you put in a bit of efforts. But the point is that when I am evaluating and when I'm rewarding, I don't reward efforts. If organizations continue to reward efforts, you would not be able to support staff at the end of the day. And don't forget that the performance management system is normally a psychological process that helps to engage staff members. Once staff members realize the fact that you reward efforts, everybody will switch into the mode of efforts without results. So if you want to achieve your results, it must be clear within everybody's mind that what we're evaluating is results. Now, when you acknowledge activities, you are only acknowledging activities for the point of helping to rechannel an individual's efforts. And of course, if somebody went beyond the call of duty to be able to get something done and it still does not happen, what we then do in HR and performance management is to reward them in the area of competencies. But the work results itself, you would not reward them to have performed it. For instance, now let me say I've asked to fetch me two buckets of water.
Yeah.
At the end of the day, I say, fetch me two buckets of water. You went to get those two buckets, the 2 buckets of water. You got the first one. You brought the first one within the timelines, and within the period, within the time that I said bring it. Then the second one didn't come. Now, if the second one didn't come, should I reward? Should I acknowledge? I acknowledge that there was an effort put into it, but the results that you achieved 2 buckets, I would not. You would not say you achieved it. Yeah, because if you continue to do that, everybody will switch back into the mode of efforts and not results.
Yes.
And a lot of organizations are suffering today because of that. Their performance management systems are not measuring the right things.
So what should it really measure? Just results?
It should measure results, but you can You can compensate individuals in the area of competency.
For reinforcements.
Yeah, for reinforcements. But you measure results and you reward results.
Absolutely. All right, that's great. Now, is there a best practice period for measuring performance? Is it something that should be done monthly, quarterly, or it's dependent on the organization?
It's actually dependent on the organization, really. For smaller organizations with less people, it can be much more regular than very big institutions and big organizations. Okay. But what I would normally recommend, and what we recommend, is that track performance and give feedback monthly, which simply means that there must be monthly performance reviews. But however, you must hold a formal performance evaluation review meetings at least every 6 months in terms of mid-year and year-end. Yeah. So once you are doing your monthly performance reviews very, very well, you then do your formal performance evaluation 6 months, then year-end. That's what we recommend. Because for some organizations where you have large workforce, the line managers won't have that time to be able to do it quarterly, as often. And of course, you don't also want to get to a point where the performance evaluation system becomes too monotonous.
Okay. Interesting. So it largely depends on the organization.
But however, we recommend at least 2 times in a year for the formal performance evaluation process. But the monthly performance reviews must be ongoing. Must happen every month.
All right. Now, some employees tend to engage in a lot of activities without producing actual results. Can you please share some tips that will help these employees become more result-oriented? And also share tips for the organization management on how to reinforce the employees or, the workforce to be more result-oriented.
Okay. Now, if you want to get employees to be result-oriented, the first thing is that the corporate, there must be very clear-cut understanding with regards to what the organization wants to achieve, which comes with the corporate performance goal-setting system. Once that is done, it is cascaded at the departmental level. From the departmental level, it must be cascaded to the individual levels, which simply means that each staff member must know what his key result areas are. And apart from the key result areas, they must understand to each key result area what is the target, what is the measure of performance for each target area.
Right. Okay.
Yeah. They must know that. And once they know that, then they are able to get involved in their own performance planning. They can put in place their performance plans. They would hold a performance planning discussion session with their line managers.
Okay.
Their line managers agree with them so that there could be an alignment with what I think the performance measures are and what my boss thinks is the performance measures is, so that there can be alignment.
Right.
Once that is done, then the next thing is for you then to begin to put in place activities that would make the plans happen. Then program those activities into your diary in terms of the time it must happen, because it is when we then run after and implement those activities that the results will get to happen. So once that is done, the next thing is for you then to begin to track your performance. And as you're tracking your performance, you are giving feedback to your supervisor. You must constantly find time to give feedback to your supervisors, give performance reports to your supervisors. And of course, when there are issues, always know when to quickly escalate the issues to the supervisor that can help find solutions that can help walk you through, both of you coming together, agreeing what solutions would be that would move you forward.
Right.
A lot of areas where people have problems is the fact that they don't know when to escalate issues. So they wait for the supervisors to discover themselves that there is a problem. And during which time you realize that it's too late.
All right. About the evaluation, is it something that only happens from top to bottom? Does it ever happen from ground to top as well? Because some supervisors also need to be evaluated for the effectiveness of the company, just to put in some balance. Is that something that you've experienced in your HR career?
In some organizations, the evaluation actually starts from the employee. You start up the process. You submit things to your boss. The boss looks at it and comes back to you and gives you feedback. Yeah, there are some organizations that do that. Now, there is also organizations that operate the 360-degree evaluation system, where I would also be part of evaluating my own boss. But in this part of the world, we see that the maturity level of employees and even line managers is not that high, where because a lot of time managers are not open to feedback. Yeah, so they are more open to feedback, and by the time they begin to get negative feedback from their supervisees, who are their employees, sometimes they may begin to witch hunt them. That is what happens. That is what we see happening a lot in our own environment. But however, some organizations, what they do is that they also get the employee to actually also evaluate their employers. Yeah.
Is that a type of change that is solely responsible, that is on solely responsible of the HR professional in the company? Is that something that is expected from any HR professional to be able to bring about that change? Because if we're going to say it's about the maturity of these individuals or employers, is that not what the HR is there for, to bring about change? And because
the HR is expected to actually drive the system, to coordinate, to handle the coordination of the performance management system as a whole. The performance management system entails performance planning, performance tracking, and performance evaluations. Now, the HR is supposed to coordinate the entire system, and part of it is that HR must also ensure that the employees and the employees and their line managers, they understand the performance management system. Not only that, they are also able to use all the tools. So once that happens, they are able to drive these things to happen in their organizations. So truly and truly, HR should take responsibility for ensuring the coordination of the performance management circle.
Okay.
So
let's go on a quick break. We'll be right back, and when we return, we'll be taking some calls as regards evaluation, especially on activities and results. Don't go anywhere. This is The Office, and it's Lagos Talks 91.3. Welcome back to The Office. It's Lagos Talks 91.3. My name is Michelle Ago, and with me is my guest. He is an HR expert and professional, Mr. Innocent Oseghe. Did I get it right?
Yes, you're correct.
Yes, absolutely correct. All right, the conversation continues, so you can join the conversation 0809-191-3913, 0809-222-0913, or 0809-234-5913. Now, generally speaking, who should be responsible for ensuring that performance evaluation is done effectively and objectively? The line managers, or the HR, or the employer?
Well, even beyond the three that you've mentioned, there are four factors. There are four different kinds of factors that should be involved to ensure that performance management is properly done. The first person really is the employer himself. Is the employer very, very clear with regards to what they want to achieve? And has that been properly cascaded to the departmental levels and as well to the individuals that are working in those units? So it starts really from the employer setting the tone. They must set the tone. Then you then go to the line managers.
Okay. What
should be the line manager's responsibility? Is to convert those corporate goals into what the employee will understand. And of course, is expected to track, is expected to do performance reviews, and of course, is supposed to provide ongoing feedback for the employee.
Right.
That is supposed to be the work of the line manager. Then what is supposed to be the work of the employee himself? The work of the employee in this entire process is to ensure that he aligns his goals It also tracks the execution of plans and also performs self-reviews. After that, it's supposed to provide its line managers with data for performance reviews. The challenge that most organizations have is the fact that even the line managers don't have enough data to work with, to do their performance evaluations objectively. So that is the role of the employee. And therefore, then you will then say, what is the role of HR? HR is to provide the human resource information systems and processes that would help ensure that performance evaluation is done well. HR is expected to educate and train line managers and employees on how to use the performance management system. HR is supposed to ensure performance evaluation happens, and of course too that it also collates the outcomes and makes recommendations to management for reward or for reprimand. HR is supposed to handle all that, and of course HR is expected also to ensure the objectivity and the integrity of the performance management system, as well as guide against witch hunting of employees by their bosses. Those are all the kind of things that HR is supposed to provide. So everyone has a role to play in this to ensure that performance evaluation is done effectively and objectively. So everyone is involved. The employee has a part to play, the line manager has a part to play, HR has a part to play, and the employer themselves also have a role to play.
All right. Thank you so much. Very interesting. So evaluation should be part of any organization, no matter how small or big. That's what you'd say?
That's what I think. That's what it should be.
That's what it should be. All right. Thank you. This is the end of the program today on The Office, but I'm sure you have, something else, some additional words to share to the listeners, especially for business owners and employees out there who are looking to get an advice from you as regards how to be more productive and results-oriented.
Fantastic. Thank you very much. You see, after COVID-19, the world of work has changed. And I would say organization needs to rework their performance management system to ensure that it is not effort that is being appraised. It is the results that should be measured. With the hybrid working arrangement right now, there is need to relook at how performance is managed in organizations going forward. Employees need more support from line managers now than ever before. And of course, giving support and tracking work results seems to be the only way out in the current dispensation. And we just need to know how to do this very well. Let's ensure that all performance managers, all line managers, they are skilled in the acts of performance management. And of course, let's also ensure that employees understand their role within the performance management system, and they are also empowered to be able to do the things they need to do within the performance management system. Don't forget that work doesn't get done in a vacuum. There is need to provide resources. Are organizations providing adequate resources? Are the line managers providing adequate support? These are some of the things that we have to, we have to look at. But line managers must remember that they have to deliberately manage performance well. They also have to deliberately reward performance well. And if that happens, then it sets a tone that this is a performance-driven organization. Once everybody understands that this is a performance-driven organization, like I said, performance management tool is a psychological tool. Once everybody knows that this is a performance-driven organization, they would give you what you want, which is performance. Right. Everybody will double their efforts to be sure that they give you performance and they will get properly rewarded for it.
Thank you so much, Mr. Innocent Oseghe. Thank you for joining us today on The Office. We hope to have you back sometime soon to share more for us as we build stronger careers and a stronger workforce in the workplace.
Thank you very much.
All right. Coming up next at the top of the hour is Zeal with Critical Thinking. Don't go anywhere. My name is Michelle Agger. This is The Live Drive with Michelle. Stay with us.